If you are brand new to boudoir photography, there's a good chance you're probably falling on a budget. I know I certainly was when I started my studio 9 years ago. I had just invested in a camera and I really didn't have any more money to set up my studio. So I have got some tips for you if you are in the same boat. You can still create a luxury experience and set up a bedroom boudoir area to shoot out of, even if right now at this exact moment, you don't have a ton of money to invest in it. So let's go through my tips so that you can create your studio. And this doesn't matter if you are shooting out of a room in your home, or maybe you are renting a space and you're looking at all of the emptiness thinking, oh my God, how should I fill it? These tips are gonna work for you no matter where you are setting up, okay? Let's jump in. Number one, I think you only need a few pieces of furniture to have a boudoir studio. A bed is going to be really, really important, and something that a person can sit on. So either a couch or a chair. I think then having the floor and having walls between those four things, floor, wall, chair, bed, you have enough variety to get a lot of poses. We are looking for a lot of variety for our clients so that they can see their body and their shape and their size from lots of different directions. So for the bed, you might be thinking, man, I do not want to go out and invest a bunch of money in a nice mattress, especially because no one's actually even sleeping on it. My advice, and you know what I did when I started? I photographed clients on a queen size air mattress. I purchased one that was higher than the normal. So I didn't get just a small, short air mattress. I did get a queen size that was as tall as I could possibly get because I didn't want to have to buy a stand for underneath the mattress like I currently have. I didn't want a bed frame. That's the word, a bed frame. So I bought a very tall queen mattress and none of my clients knew. I would go, and because I was shooting out of such a small space, I would physically move the air mattress. That way I could use the windows that were behind it. And every time I did that, my clients were like, this is not a real bed? What do you mean this is not a real bed? And because I got one that was so tall and I had covered it in sheets and bedding and everything, they didn't really know that there wasn't a stand underneath it. The other thing that doesn't cost very much money, but will turn an air mattress into something that looks more like a bed, is to get a mattress topper. So you can purchase plush toppers that you're gonna put over the top of your mattress. That way, instead of having the deep curves that, I don't know, most air mattresses have, you know the shape that I'm talking about. You put a topper over that, nobody's gonna know. How would they know? How would they know? So there you go. Without spending a ton of money, all you gotta do is get your tall queen size mattress, and then a mattress topper, and one pack of bed sheets, and check, your bedding is done. If you want a little more variety and you've got a little more money to play around with, get 2 or 3 different sets of sheets. They don't have to be super expensive because, again, we're not actually sleeping in them. We're just playing with them. So I would get a white set. I would get maybe a black or very dark charcoal gray set. And if you feel like splurging, maybe one colorful set, like a red. Something like a satin red would be really, really, really pretty. But if you are no, I'm really trying to stick to a budget here, Alicia, just get the air mattress, get the topper, and get 1 set of white bed sheets, and you are good to go. That's all you need. And as just a little secret bonus, I do have I've upgraded in my studio. Guess what? This mattress, I still didn't buy it from a store. I found a nice one on Facebook Marketplace. And I bought that when I moved into my studio, and it's working great. The frame was brand new. I invested a lot of money in a really nice frame, but the mattress came from Facebook. Speaking of Facebook, that is a great place to go if you are looking for furniture and you don't have a lot of money to invest in your business right now. I have gotten the velvet chair that I shoot with in my studio. I got that off of Facebook Marketplace. And I'm always on there looking to see what can I find. I think about 80% of the fake plants that I have in here, I bought either at a thrift store or garage sales. Actually, fun story if you have the time. I was once driving to my studio. It was 8 o'clock in the morning. I saw that someone was getting a rummage sale set up in their front yard, and they had a dozen. I don't know. They had so many fake plants, trees, like big fake plants in their front yard. And I called my husband and I'm like, I am at I have to go to the studio right now to get ready for a session. What are you doing? Could you please go to this yard sale and buy every single plant for me and bring it here? And he did. He got to my studio maybe 20 minutes before my clients showed up, and I put all of these fake plants everywhere. So don't be afraid to reduce, reuse, recycle. All right. It's good for the environment. It's good for your wallet. And there is no shame in decking out your studio in things that you find from a garage sale, as long as they're clean and they still work. We're good to go. That is also where you can find chairs or, again, something for your client to sit on, like a sofa or things like that. Like I said, I found mine off of Facebook Marketplace, but you can find relatively inexpensive furniture at Home Goods. I have found some really cool pieces there. You can also find things at thrift stores, like I mentioned. So don't be afraid to get a little creative. And instead of going to a furniture store, look at other places. Now, my advice when hunting for a piece of furniture for your clients to do their sitting poses, I would recommend finding a chair that doesn't have any arms. Mine currently does. In the future, if I upgrade, I'll probably get a larger one that does not have arms, because then you have a little more flexibility and room to play with posing. Plus, you can cater to a wider range of body sizes if you are not constricted to having arms on your chair. I went with one that is a little bit wider of a chair, so I wasn't too worried with the arms, but every now and then I want to do a pose and I'm like, the stupid arms of the chair are getting in my way. So when you are on the hunt, I would look for that. I would also recommend looking for furniture like, again, your chair or your sofa, or maybe even an ottoman that you can use in multiple ways. So for example, I purchased a wooden stool, again, off of Facebook Marketplace, and I will use that wooden stool on occasion with my boudoir clients. But when I have a headshot session, I've got that wooden stool already. When you're bowling on a budget, you need to find pieces that can work in multiple ways, that can earn you revenue in multiple ways. So yes, we want furniture that will work well for a boudoir studio, but if a client could sit in it and have their headshots taken, or you could use it as a piece of furniture for family photos or something like that, then I would really recommend also getting that piece. So that's where we're at so far, right? We've got the sofa, we've got the chair or couch or whatever it is you're doing, and then we've got our air mattress. For everything else, I would really look at estate sales, rummage sales, thrift stores, things like that. Again, if it's clean and it works, there's no reason why you can't use it in your studio. A few other places you can look if you are trying to fill your studio space, I would go onto Facebook Marketplace and type in photography or studio photographer and see if any photographers are selling their gear. A lot of times people who are either upgrading themselves, or maybe their studio is closing, or maybe they're retiring, they will go to Facebook Marketplace first to sell their goodies. And that's a great resource for a brand new photographer to get some very cool stuff for their studio and not pay full retail. You can also find boudoir groups on Facebook. Like, I think there's one called Client Closet D-Stash, I think. I'll find it and I'll put it in the link of this description, where boudoir photographers who are just, maybe they're downsizing or they're retiring or who knows what it may be, they have a lot of client wardrobe that they don't need anymore. And so they sell it on these Facebook groups. And it's great because now, again, you're getting like a whole studio wardrobe and it's going to cost you so much less than building that out fully yourself. You can also offer trades. And this is something that I did when I moved into this space. The floor in here was rough. She was a rough floor. She was concrete. She was unfinished. There were stains on it. It wasn't cute. So I found a contractor who was willing to put in the floor for me. I had to purchase the flooring, but he installed all of it, and he did it as a trade so his wife could come in and get a session. You have a skill set, a really, really cool skill set. So don't be afraid to ask your friends, ask your neighbors, go into your neighborhood community Facebook group or what have you, and see if anybody would be willing to trade services for stuff for your studio. People will take you up on it, and it's great. I love a trade. Hopefully that gave you some ideas on how you can create a studio when you are just starting out and you don't have a ton of money. Again, to summarize, you need a bed. I'd recommend having something for a client to sit on, and you can find these things relatively inexpensive if you get your air mattress off of like Amazon or in a store, way cheaper than buying an actual bed. And if you find your furniture off of Facebook Marketplace or at thrift stores or at rummage sales, it's also way, way, way cheaper than purchasing retail. So you do those two things, and then maybe for everything else, you trade services. All of a sudden, you've got a pretty great studio to start working in that didn't cost you a ton of money. And if you're looking for extra stuff, check out the client closet de-stash groups that trade lingerie and sell lingerie. Ask, friends or family if they have any decorations that they don't need anymore or that they're downsizing or what have you. You just got to get creative. You got to get a little bit creative, and you got to hunt for this stuff, but it's kind of fun. It's like looking for treasure. And I started my studio with nothing but a card table, an air mattress, and a backdrop of a bed headboard. That's right. I didn't even have a headboard. I had a backdrop that looked like a headboard. That's what I started my studio with. That's it. But you don't need a lot of stuff. You just need the gumption, the hustle to make it happen, and a few pieces of furniture. And from there, if you can make your clients feel comfortable and confident in their body, you can eventually upgrade to a studio space that maybe is more in line with what you're dreaming of. But you'll get there. It's baby steps. You'll get there, I promise. Do you have any advice on how to find cool things for your studio if you don't have a huge budget right now, if you're just starting out? I would love it if you left them in the comments so I could maybe get some new ideas. I'm still looking for a budget. I've been doing this for 9 years and I still love a good deal. And maybe other boudoir photographers will be inspired then as well. And they'll see your tips and they can do that as well. Otherwise, if you're looking for boudoir education, self-love education, you found the right place. My name is Alicia. I own Buxom Boudoir. I've been doing this for almost a decade, and I want to share what I know with all of you because I made plenty of mistakes in my 9 years at this point, and I hope you don't make the same one. So let me share what I know with you so you guys have the best shot possible at creating a boudoir session for your clients that they love. I will put out a new video every Saturday. Make sure you like and you subscribe so you don't miss any of that. And until next week, remember that your body is a good body, and I will see you all again later. Bye.